Have you ever stopped to think that you're never really alone, even when you're by yourself? Well, today, we're going to unlock a secret universe that's living inside you, an entire ecosystem that's quietly shaping your health every single second. Yep, we're talking about the incredible power of probiotics and the vast world hidden within your gut.
So, let me start by asking you a kind of weird question. When you look in the mirror, are you really just looking at, well, you? As it turns out, the answer is way more complex and honestly, a whole lot more crowded than you could ever imagine.
Because right now, living in and on your body are an estimated 100 trillion microorganisms. To put that in perspective, that's more than the number of stars in our entire Milky Way galaxy. We're not just people, we are literally walking, talking ecosystems.
Now, this huge collection of tiny organisms has a name. It's your microbiome. And get this, it contains 100 times more microbial DNA than human DNA. So in a very real sense, these tiny passengers are kind of co-piloting our bodies, influencing everything from how we digest our food to how we feel when we wake up.
Okay, so this brings us to what's basically a battlefield happening inside of you. See, being healthy isn't about getting rid of all bacteria. Not at all. It's about keeping a delicate peace treaty, a balance between the good microbes and the not-so-good ones living in your gut.
On one side, you have the good guys. They're helping you digest food, supporting your immune system, the whole deal. But on the other side, you've got the bad guys, and they can cause things like inflammation and all that uncomfortable digestive stuff. The problem is, modern life, stress, what we eat, taking antibiotics, it can throw this balance way off, giving the bad guys an edge.
So how do we fight back? How do we help our inner allies? Well, we need to call in the heroes of the microbiome. Let's meet the key players that help keep this whole ecosystem in check.
First up, we've got probiotics. These are the live, good guy bacteria themselves. The easiest way to think of them is like fresh reinforcements for your gut's army. But then you have prebiotics. Now, these aren't bacteria, they're the food for your good bacteria. They're the fuel that makes your existing microscopic army stronger and ready to fight.
And what happens when you combine them? You get symbiotics. It's really the ultimate team-up. You get both the reinforcements and their fuel all in one package, and it's all designed to give your gut the biggest possible advantage.
So we know who the heroes are, but what can they actually do for us? Let's break down the three main superpowers of a healthy, balanced microbiome. The first one, and probably the most famous superpower, is digestive harmony. Honestly, for most people, this is the first thing they notice when they start paying attention to their gut health. A healthy balance of these little guys can help reduce all that annoying bloating and gas. It can help regulate, well, everything. And it can even ease symptoms for people with things like IBS. And what's really crucial is that it helps your body break down food better, which means you get more nutrients out of everything you eat.
Okay, I've got a number for you that might just blow your mind. What percentage of your entire immune system do you think is located in your gut? The answer is a truly staggering 70 to 80%. And that stat leads us directly to the second superpower, a reinforced immune system. I mean, think about it. With the vast majority of your body's defense forces headquartered right there in your gut, the health of your microbiome is directly tied to your ability to fight off getting sick. Your good bacteria are basically like personal trainers for your immune cells, helping them know the difference between a friend and an enemy. They also help strengthen the gut wall itself, creating a physical barrier to keep bad stuff out of your bloodstream. They can even produce their own natural germ-fighting compounds. Pretty cool, right? And finally, we come to what might be the most fascinating superpower of them all, the gut-brain connection. You've probably heard your gut called your second brain, and there's a really good reason for that. It has a direct communication highway to your head, and it influences everything from your mood to how you handle stress. Just how strong is that connection? Well, let's talk about serotonin, the hormone that regulates mood and happiness. An incredible 90% of it is made in your gut, not your brain. Certain gut bacteria actually help create it from the food you eat. So yeah, a happy gut can literally lead to a happier mind.
All right, so we've covered the why, which is awesome, but now let's get practical and talk about the how. How can we actively fuel these microscopic allies of ours every single day?
First, you can bring in more of the probiotic helpers by eating fermented foods. So we're talking about things like yogurt and kefir. Just make sure the label says live and active cultures. And also stuff like kimchi, miso, and sauerkraut.
Next, you've got to provide the fuel with prebiotic-rich foods. These are basically high-fiber foods that your good bacteria absolutely love to eat.
Garlic, onions, asparagus, oats, and especially bananas that are still a little bit green. They're all fantastic sources.
Now, the best approach, always, is to start with food. A diverse, fiber-rich diet is the real foundation for gut health. But I know a lot of you might be thinking about supplements, and that whole market can be really confusing. So let's quickly break down how to choose a good one. First, check the specific strain. Think of it like this. Lactobacillus is like the family name, dog, but the specific strain tells you its job, like golden retriever. Second, look for CFUs. That stands for colony-forming units, which is just the dosage. You generally want to see at least 1 billion. Third, good brands will have research to back up what they're selling. And finally, check the storage rules. Some of these guys need to be kept in the fridge to stay alive and effective.
Just to simplify things a little bit, here are the 3 main groups you'll see a lot. Lactobacillus strains are often fantastic for digestion. Bifidobacterium is a huge player for both your immune system and your mood. And Saccharomyces, which is actually a type of beneficial yeast, is really well known for helping with digestive issues like diarrhea.
But at the end of the day, the most important thing to remember is this. There is no magic pill. Every single person's microbiome is totally unique, so the best strategy isn't to chase one specific supplement, but to eat a huge variety of whole foods, especially plants, to nourish a really diverse and strong inner world.
You know, we are just scratching the surface of understanding this incredible inner world. This is like a brand new frontier of health, and it's happening inside of you right this second. Your gut is constantly sending you signals, so the real question is, are you ready to start listening?